So I don't have a fully formed thought. I don't know if I'll even upload this, but it just felt like the time to do it. So here we go. World peace. I think about it every single day. You know, I've worked customer service since I was 16, officially, legally, 16. I love my customers. Truly, I love my customers. I care about them. I want each and every one to be happy and healthy and enjoying the very short life we have. Sea turtles live longer than us, for goodness sakes, and yet we think we're superior. Oh, to be a sea turtle. What an interesting existence. It's just... The thing is, to have world peace, all it takes is each individual being kind to each other. That's it. It's so simple. It's so, in my opinion, easy. I get the greatest joy in life from being kind to people. I just don't understand why it's so hard for people to be kind. I don't. World peace. Every day I think about it, and I just can't figure it out. It's like not harming animals who think and feel just as deeply as we do, and know things we don't, know things we have zero understanding of. Wait, I'm losing my thought. Vegans, animal activists, we have to constantly lobby for people to be kind. And it just doesn't make sense to me. Why do we have to convince people to be kind? I know many an unkind person, but what makes it so difficult is it doesn't seem like you can ask them directly why they are unkind. And even when you do, when you do, they speak nonsense, selfish things that, well, you can do whatever you want to do. This is how it's done. Things like that. And it's like, how do you argue with that when it's like, what you're saying makes no sense? Yes, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, that's the system that's in place, but that's only because of people conducting the activity. The system doesn't have to be that way. So it's like, how do you argue with someone who's saying you can do whatever you want and not care about other people or animals or anything else? Even taking care of your own equipment or toys. I'm autistic and I care about everything. In basic training, I was once reported to the drill sergeants as having punched my locker. They reported me for all sorts of things. humming, having a pardon, smoker's lungs, don't do it, don't start. They reported me for having a bug on my leg, for humming, for talking to myself, for looking out the window, for not shaving after they confiscated our shavers, for being dirty, like not washing when I took longer showers than any of them. They reported me for so many things. They were cold showers because so we had, this is a complete sidetrack, but this is the serendipitous channel. So I feel a flow of talking, and that's just what it's going to be, I guess. It started with a point, and hopefully I'll get back to it. World peace. I'll have to remind myself. I'll probably forget. But to sidetrack, the main bully individual, screw it, I'll just say it. So I'm trans male. I'm living my life as a male. Absolutely wonderful, not the point. In basic training, I was raised to be female. But I've never in my life understood female. I was raised with them. I was in a very tiny space with two others of them. And sports, existence, the only friends I was allowed to have, etc., females. That's how I was raised. I will never in a million years understand females. I don't understand them. And I think because I was raised as a female, I don't know that I'll ever understand how men can live with females. But I think that's because I've been to the dark side. I've seen the side that men aren't supposed to see. And being a man, it's a deal breaker, shall we say. So I would say I'm pansexual. I don't care what anybody is. I am attracted to the individual of their spirit. But at the same time, even though I'm attracted to other males on occasion, I never see myself with another male. I can only really envision a future with a female who I think on average, definitely on average, I find more attractive. But so I find females more attractive. I can only see myself with another female. But I've been to the dark side. I was raised on the dark side. Maybe I shouldn't say dark side. Just the other side. Female side. But I don't have the brain for it. I may have the body for it. I don't have the brain for it. I don't have the soul for it. I will never understand females. And I never got along with them. They never got along with me, etc. I could go on for days. And it all makes sense now that I know about trans and that I am trans. Now everything makes so much sense. But horrible childhood situations, now that I understand why they came to be and why they were the way they were, it makes them kind of funny stories. It doesn't lessen the trauma of having to deal with it as a child, but it is funny to me now that it's so obvious why things were the way they were. Females knew I wasn't one of them. That's the basic thing. Fuck it. One, I'm gonna cuss, and two, I'm gonna sidetrack. Screw it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go on a whole random tangent. Maybe my fellow ADHDers will enjoy this more than the neurotypicals. So sidetrack bathrooms, right? Oh, and I'm losing my thought. Oh, yes. So it's even surprising to me. I mean, you dream, you hope, you envision, you daydream, you plan, but you never know until you experience it. So, ever since I was a toddler, I did not want to go in the female restroom. I wanted to go in the males. I would watch, we were forced to do swim and swim team for many years, and whenever I had to go to the bathroom, I would look over to the males of all different ages, you know. I was a toddler, but they were all different ages walking into the male bathroom, and I would look over. It was Memorial. You know what? I'll get more specific. Oh, there's a couple of big, beautiful dogs. A Beethoven and something else. A mix of some sort. I don't know what he is. His body looks like a small dog, but he's a big, fluffy dog. Squirrel. What was I saying? Oh, so Memorial Pool. Memorial Pool. Water. Yummy. Memorial Pool. The male bathroom was on the... If you're coming out of the pool, which I generally was if I needed to go to the bathroom, the male bathroom was on the left, and the female bathroom was on the right. I can feel the emotions. It's such poignant memories. I would always look over to the left and watch all the boys and men going into that bathroom and just want so badly to go that way, and constantly being literally dragged because I was so obstinate about it, literally dragged and forced into the female bathroom, which I hated with every fiber of my being. And ever since I was a toddler, I would get in if I had to. Like, I avoided them like the plague, any female area. And in high school, I never stepped foot in the female locker room. I did not a single freaking time. No way. I changed in the bathroom stalls in the gym, separate from the locker room. I have no idea what the female locker room looks like. But yeah, I would avoid them like the plague. But if I had to, I'd get in, I'd do what I had to do quickly. And actually, I never used the stalls at Memorial Pool. I don't know if my parents, my mom ever realized this, but I never went in the stalls in that Memorial Pool. There was always too many females in there. So there was a shower room, just a single shower room. So you walk... Here's the pool. You get out of the pool. Here's the female bathroom. It was all like concrete. You walk into the door. To the left is the shower, and to the right is all the stalls and sinks and everything. So I never used those stalls. I actually went into the shower. I don't know. I actually don't understand how my mom didn't realize, because I would always go to the shower. Maybe she just was distracted or something, or maybe I made up an excuse, but I don't remember making up an excuse in exactly. I kind of have a feeling of I said something, but I don't remember. Either way, I was always going to the shower, rinsing off, peeing in there, not using the stalls. There was too many females. They were right next door, etc. I don't know. I don't know how I got away with that, but that's my memory. I need to readjust because my legs are locking up. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So, it wasn't as prevalent as a child, though I avoided female bathrooms like the plague. As an adult, I learned to, well, as a teenager and adult, I learned to start sucking it up and doing it. Oh gosh, I'm so close. I gotta put it down here. I just want you to be able to hear me because there's wind and vehicles. So I learned to start sucking it up and doing it and using the female restrooms as sparingly as I could. If I could piss in a bottle in the car, that's what I did instead. Literally, woods, bottle in the car, I would choose it anytime I could over going in the female bathroom. But when I did go in there, I'm talking having a pink shirt and a ponytail and not ever knowing back then that transgender was even a thing. Females would come into the bathroom, see me, their instincts would immediately tell them that is not a female, this is wrong. And they would literally, oh, I'm sorry. And then I'd look at them and be like, for what? And they'd be like, oh, nothing. Sorry. And then they come in. Or they would come in and be like, oh, sorry. And walk out. And they'd go to the other bathroom, realize their mistake, actually their instinctual correctness, but their mistake, that no, they did come in the female restroom. They come back in slowly, like, wait, so is this a male in the female bathroom, or did I make a mistake? And then they'd see me, and I'd try and be as soft and quiet and just sweet as I could be, because I knew I made people nervous. I always made people nervous, females nervous, when I was in those spaces, because they knew, instinctually they knew I didn't belong. But I don't know if this is falling or I'm pushing away, but and this would happen daily. It would happen. Females coming into the female restroom where I was supposed to be and where I would be wearing female clothing and have long hair, and they still knew that I didn't belong every single day. So they would come in, they'd say, oh, sorry, sir, or just, oh, sorry, and walk out, and then see that, wait, no, I was in the right place. Are they in the right place? And then they come in all warily, and then they really take a good look, and they're like, oh, they are wearing female clothes. Oh, they do have tits. Oh, they do have long hair. Oh, crap. That's a female. I messed up. And then they'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, and act so embarrassed because they thought they misgendered me as a male, when in fact they correctly gendered me as a male. And that's the most hilarious thing. And these are the things that people who are anti-trans don't understand and don't care to. But you can't understand that unless you've lived it. Any time I used a female restroom and another female came in, their instincts told them I was a male, no matter how I looked or dressed, and the fact that I didn't even know what trans was back then. They knew I was a male, and they would leave the restroom thinking they messed up, and then thinking again they messed up. and apologizing because they think they messed up, when they were actually the most intuitive and accurate individuals out there. They were right. I didn't belong there. I was intruding on their space. And I knew it too. I felt it. It was so uncomfortable anytime I had to go in there. And stereotypes always talk about how females are always chatting in the bathroom. Not when I'm in there. When I was in there, it was dead silent. It was nervous glances. It was awkward and horrible. So I don't know if the stereotype is true, because the fact that I was there changes the aspect of it. So I don't know what female bathrooms are really like when it's just a bunch of actual females. But on that note, anytime I was in a female bathroom, another female would be energetically pushing me out, knowing I didn't belong. And even though my breasts are size D, I'm gonna be honest on here, because these things need to be talked about. Even though I have such large breasts from this female body I was born in, I go into the male's bathroom anytime, anywhere, and it's wonderful. There is no negative energy. They see me. They're not energetically pushing me out. We're laughing. We're chatting. We're having a good time. I'm taking my shits in peace. And for the first time in my life, taking shits in public toilets. Because even if I went in a female restroom, it was never to do that number 2. It was always to pee and get out. I am finally at 31 years old, for the first time in my life, pooping in a bathroom publicly. Because it's just, the energy is right. I don't feel out of place. Nobody else feels I'm out of place. And there's a few people who by now I think probably realize I might be trans. I don't know. I have coworkers who've worked with me for over a year, and they told me that they only found out that I was trans within the last couple months. And that's surprising to me, only because I do have very prominent body parts. I have learned and do my best to hide those, and I guess I'm doing a good job. Because literally, I see people when they see me, and they see me as a male, and then they look down to the level, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, ma'am," and then they look back up, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, sir." And then they act all embarrassed and whatnot. I try to put them at ease, and I just laugh, and I'm like, "Oh, no problem, miss," if it was a guy. Or if it was a girl, I'd be like, "Oh, no problem, sir." You know, I just play it off like that, and everyone usually is back to their regular energies. A few people, they do the whole thing, and you can tell they hate you. But those are, at least where I am, the few and far between, thank goodness. I feel sorry for areas where it's more common, because it is uncomfortable to know that someone hates you just by looking at you. But I'm just going off so many tangents here, and actually I have to go piss again, so I might be hanging up here. The original thing, world peace, right? Okay, to round out the bathroom thing, it's hilarious that females always knew I didn't belong. I always knew I didn't belong. Now I'm trans male, and I have not had a single male put forth the energy or the behavior that they would want me not there, or that they even suspect that I shouldn't be there, or think or feel that way. And I am so much more comfortable. Like, it's still an odd thing after 30 years to finally be using public restrooms. But it's the military helped with that aspect too, because it was necessity to piss in front of people. But it's I don't know, okay? People say I'm mentally ill, or some people say it's natural, or some people say it was created, some people say it was born. I don't know. Just because I am what I am doesn't mean I know where it came from. I don't know. Maybe it was genetic. Maybe it was my life. Was it a choice? No, that's the one thing. I damn near killed myself so many times trying everything I could to be a female, and it never worked, and it never produced any sort of result to suggest I was faking it well enough. It wasn't a thing. So not a choice, but was it created or was it born? I don't know. But regardless, this is the way it is. And the fact that females always instinctually knew I shouldn't be there, as well as myself. And now, even with my deficiencies physically, I have not had a single instance of a male not wanting me there or me feeling like I shouldn't be there. That to me feels more like a born thing, that it is something genetically ingrained versus something being created. I could be wrong, but it seems more that way based on behavior and instances. But back to world peace. We each as individuals only have to be kind to every other living thing out there. It only takes a thought, a moment, an action, a decision. It comes in all forms, and each form has an impact. So like the grass I'm sitting on right now, I think about it every time. Like, am I hurting the grass? Am I killing it? Am I hurting it? Is it sentient? There is more and more evidence to suggest that there is thought and communication going on, and if that's not sentient, I don't know what is. But regardless of what we are learning, I don't need to know the end result. We don't know everything. So just the idea that the grass could be sentient and I could be hurting it, what am I going to do? Well, we have to step on grass. That is a natural part of life. So, as much as I try to avoid bugs when I'm riding my bike or walking, sometimes I don't have the reaction time, or I don't see them in time, or something happens, or that's unpredictable, or they do something unpredictable, and I hurt or kill them. I feel terrible about it. But there's nothing I can realistically do about it. I cannot stand in one position from birth to death. That's not how life works. Things are going to get hurt. Things are going to get dead. The difference is intent. I don't want to hurt the grass. So I'm going to be as respectful as I can of the grass or of any other living creature. And even though these things will happen as a natural effect of life, we can lessen it. We can lessen it by so incredibly much if we each just cared as we're doing the things we're doing. It doesn't mean abstaining from every single harm that could potentially be done. I am sitting on grass because as a living creature, I need to sit. And grass is the option. So that's what I have to do. It's just, I can't stand forever, and it's not natural. But I can care that I am crushing that grass. And I don't have to reach over and tear up grass for the funsies of it. Instead, I can care that, you know what, I'm having to sit here right now, but I do not have to reach over there and tear up grass. That's not necessary, and it could be doing real crazy harm. So world peace. If we each as an individual just cared a little bit more, the world would be so vastly different. But I know so many people who want to cause trouble, who want to hate, who want to hurt others in some capacity, emotionally, physically, socially. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you want that? It doesn't make any sense. And if we just stopped wanting to hate and wanting to hurt and wanting to damage, we could literally have world peace. It is not some crazy, hard to do, abstract thought. It's actually very, very simple. Be kind. Just be kind. It doesn't do anything to you to be kind, except I guarantee bring you more joy.